Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to a Coder's Journey. Uh, this is Mortaza. This is one of the other episodes in which I am talking about some refactoring techniques. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do. And you can also bookmark this playlist so that you can watch the other videos whenever you want. In this video, I have decided to talk about a refactoring technique called Replace Temp with Query. I have created another project here on my other monitor connected to my laptop, and I am going to grab the code to show you what I mean. That'll, save a lot of time, and you do not need to, watch me write the code. So temporary variable, and then replacing that temp variable with a query method. Let me bring here this clipboard, and then I'm gonna paste this piece of code. So you see here, I've got a method called calculate total that takes in two parameters, right? And then I am calculating this value, base price, and then based on the value of base price, I am doing something. I am actually setting a value to discount factor, and then I am returning this base price times discount factor. The problem with this code is this calculation. This is our temporary variable, and this is actually the reason why we are going to apply that refactoring I told you about, replacing this temporary variable with a query method. So even though I have decided to come up with a good name for my variable base price, this calculation is a little bit vague, right? So by looking at it, it is a little bit difficult why I have decided to multiply quantity with item price to get the base price, right? And of course, this calculation could be very complex. So this is a very simple example, but suppose there are many parameters here that you want to use in order to do a calculation, and of course, this calculation quickly gets out of hand. By the way, this calculation right now is not reusable. So it means that if I have another method in which I want to do the same thing, I am going to have to, duplicate my code. So there is no way I can, reuse this calculation. So what if I could extract this, calculation and introduce another method here? So I'm going to come here and paste this piece of code. Here, I have, created a new method with a meaningful descriptive name, calculate base price. It takes in two parameters, right? And then it is returning the multiplication of these two values. So this means that I can come here now, right? And I can say, okay, use calculate base price, and then I am going to pass in these two values, right? So what is happening here, first off, is that this piece of code is now reusable. So if I have another method which needs to, run the same calculation, I do not need to duplicate this piece of code. I can reuse this encapsulated method, right? And I have eliminated this temporary, variable, and I have replaced it with a query method. And also the code, of course, is more, descriptive. It's cleaner and clearer because the name of the method clearly, tells me what this is doing. So what I need to tell you is that in this scenario, the calculation is very simple, but chances are in your programs, in your applications, you are dealing with, calculations that are very complex. So extracting a calculation into a query method and then calling it not only makes your code cleaner, but also makes this piece of logic more, reusable. Another thing that I want to tell you about is that not only for simple calculations like this, but also whenever you are using a loop, like a for loop or a while loop, you can also apply this refactoring to extract that, logic, that loops logic into a separate query method. And why are we calling this a query method? Because it is supposed to not pose any side effects on your code. So you need to make sure that your query method have no observable side effects, right? So what it does here is that it calculates and returns the values without modifying any state of any object of any sort. This is why we call it query method, right? So I don't know whether you are familiar with the concept of query and command from, for example, CQRS, but the reason why we call this method query is that it doesn't produce any side effects of any sort. That was all for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If that's the case, make sure you subscribe and you share this video with a friend. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye-bye.